Hey there, it's Will Vaughan from Your Career Mastery, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can answer the job interview question, tell me about one of your strengths. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so firstly, we're going to talk about why interviewers and recruiters might ask this behavioral-based question, and then we're going to talk about how you can structure your answer to it. Alrighty, so the first part, why do interviewers and recruiters and hiring managers, why do they ask you the question, tell me about one of your strengths? Just as when it comes to any type of behavioral-based question, whether it's tell me about yourself, tell me a time you face conflict, tell me about one of your weaknesses, they're trying to get a feel for your communication style, so how you structure a logical flow to your responses, how you might think on the spot and how you can think spontaneously. They're also trying to get a feel for your level of self-awareness, so that is, how do you feel about yourself, how do you think about your development, and how aware are you about your strengths, but also the key areas that you need to improve. But also, when they do ask you, what's one of your greatest strengths, they are genuinely trying to understand what is your skill set, where you're really strong, what kind of value can you add to the team, and what kind of capability you can bring to the particular team and to the broader business as well. And lastly, one of the key things they're looking to understand is also your level of preparedness. So typically there's a standard set of typical behavioral-based questions that you're going to get asked in a job interview. Tell me about yourself, tell me about a weakness, tell me about a strength, tell me about a key achievement. And because you should know that these questions are going to come up in a job interview, you should have had enough time to prepare your responses for these job interview questions, because your level of preparedness will also demonstrate how enthusiastic and excited and keen you are to actually get this job, because they're not going to want to hire someone who hasn't put in the effort, because that doesn't really bode well for you coming into the role. If you couldn't put the effort into preparing for the job interview, why would they want to hire you? Because they would expect that lack of preparation if you're going to work in their business as well. Alrighty, so those are some of the reasons why they might ask you, tell me about one of your strengths. Here's how I would structure my response to that particular question. So there's three key ingredients that I would try to tick off in my response to the question, tell me about one of your strengths, and here they are. The first one is mentioning something that you have received recognition for in the past. So it can be really fantastic and actually add extra weight to your answer if you can mention a strength that a line manager or a senior stakeholder has given you recognition for based on a project you contributed to, or a task you did, or a particular presentation, because that'll also add a bit of extra weight to your answer. And the more specific you can be, like saying, the head of marketing mentioned in their feedback to me in a particular presentation that I was really diligent in my preparation and how I could present to a particular audience. So that is mentioning the particular person who gave you this recognition, and the more senior, the better. But also just being really specific will add a lot of extra weight to your answer as well. Number two is that you want to back up your particular strength with an example from a key project that was really successful. And the third thing is that if you can align both of those things, the particular strength that you mentioned, with the key selection criteria for the job that you're going for, that is going to absolutely make sure you hit a home run with answering this particular question. So for example, you can start with the key selection criteria and look at all the key things they're looking for. Are they looking for someone with leadership skills, presentation skills, analytical skills, whatever the skill might be? And I would actually say you want to start there. So you want to go look at the key selection criteria for the job ad. What skills they're looking for? They're looking for leadership skills, presentation skills, problem solving skills, analytical skills. Whatever skills they're looking for, you can pick one that's the most relevant or the juiciest one that you know that you can talk to in the job interview when they ask you about what is one of your greatest strengths. So pick one that you know you can really speak to with a lot of confidence. Also pick one that you know you can back up with having received recognition for that strength in the business, either in your current role or in a previous role that you worked on. And when you speak to that strength, make sure you've got a really great example that you can speak to as part of a key project that you worked on that really demonstrated that skill in action. Now, you obviously don't want to talk for too long. Like I said, you want to keep your answer short, sharp, and concise. But if you can tick all these three factors off, it'll go a long way in making an impactful impression in terms of how you can answer this question, and really framing yourself as the most attractive candidate for the role, and giving strength and credibility to your response to these particular questions. So here's how I would answer this particular question. Thank you for the question. And I would say one of my top strengths is they're all about building a strategy and rolling it out and getting buy-in from the wider business. So something I received feedback from my line manager on in my recent performance review was my ability to put a strategy together for the broader business and really tell the story and sell the business about why this presentation or why this new strategy was so important. And a recent example of this was the new blog that we rolled out for the business. So it was going to require significant technical investment to launch this new blog and roll out a new content strategy, but I was able to get buy-in from key stakeholders both in our legal and compliance department as well as our product team to really sell the story about why I was going to drive a material business impact and take all of these key stakeholders on the journey and address many of the questions and objections that they may have had going into the presentation. And despite the complexity of this project, we were able to get it over the line, which was a great result for my team and also driving business impact. So that's how I would answer that question. And like I mentioned, it's great because it shows you've received recognition. You can align your strength to a particular project and positively show how that is impacted the business in a really positive way. So I'm Will Vaughan from Your Career Mastery. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to hit subscribe because there's more videos coming out each and every week to make you a more successful professional. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.